Let's go. Ugh, feelings, am I right? Ew. Hello friends, welcome to Pearls and Ivy. I had a whole other video planned for today, one that I've been working on for a couple of weeks. I know I have missed some videos, and for that I apologize. But, you know, the world really messes with your ability to do work, you know, when the whole world is falling apart. But in light of that, today I want to move this so it's not all, it's better. Today I want to talk about and share some of my personal tips for how to honor your feelings. Listen, the world is a real shit show right now. We are fighting racism in this country. The virus is still going on, and the people in charge don't want to admit that it's really happening because it makes them look bad. You know, people still aren't working. There's just a lot. And on top of that, we just entered into cancer season. So emotions are flowing like a river of tears down a mountain of what the hell. And after talking with a lot of my friends, we're all feeling the same way. We're all just, emotions are just all over the place. So I figured this would be a great time to share with you a few of the ways I deal with heavy emotions. I am no stranger to feeling all of the things. I have been an emotional person since I was born. I can remember being 3-4 years old and watching old home movies of my family. I'm talking footage from like back at my grandparents' honeymoon, stuff I wasn't even alive for, and just bawling my eyes out watching all these memories I wasn't even a part of. I used to sob hysterically in my room over boys I liked that didn't like me back. I remember being a teenager and I would get super emo and listen to the Cranberries and just sit and contemplate the state of the world and just cry and cry and cry. I cry at everything, movies, commercials. I cry when I'm happy. I'm an emotional person. I accept this about myself. I love this about myself. However, sometimes it's not convenient. But I do think it's super important to honor your feelings. And what does that mean? What does it mean to honor your feelings? To honor your feelings simply means to acknowledge them, to behave as if your feelings matter, because they do. And I don't just mean like to other people, but no, to yourself. Not to push them aside and not to write them off and not to distract yourself from them. Because our emotions are actually necessary. They help us discover how we feel about things. They help us clear out gunk in our souls and in our system. And if we don't honor them, if we don't address them, they can turn into other things. There have been studies that have shown that emotions can be linked to actual physical illnesses. So when things go unaddressed, when feelings go ignored, you can get sick. You can literally make yourself sick by not feeling your feelings. So, I'm not going to ramble on too much about it. I'm just going to go ahead and share with you a few of the ways that I personally honor my feelings. First step, communicate. Be honest about how you feel. One of the most unhealthy things that you can do when you're feeling very sad or angry or upset in some way, shape, or form is to pretend that you're not. This is actually a form of spiritual bypassing. You know, people talk a lot about good vibes only and just stay positive, just be positive, but that's really unhealthy. If you're not feeling good, if you're not feeling positive, don't pretend that you are. Not only are you lying, but it's a form of self-betrayal. It's a form of disrespect towards yourself. So be honest about how you feel. When I'm in a weird place, when I'm not feeling so great, I talk to my husband about it. We don't have to go into all the details of it if I'm not ready to talk about it, but I'll just let him know. Hey, I'm having a weird day today, so I apologize if I seem kind of funky, but I'm just going through some stuff. And by the way, I'm not apologizing for my feelings. I'm just letting him know that if I'm acting funny around him, that it has nothing to do with him, that I'm just dealing with things. And it helps so much, because then I gotta move this camera again, because it helps so much, because then he knows where I'm coming from. He knows where I stand, and that it also helps him to better support me. If I need to go be alone, if he just wants to come and give me a big, wonderful, beautiful bear hug and help me feel better, which he does all the time, and it's wonderful. But you gotta communicate how you're feeling to the people around you. It's out of respect for them, so they don't have to feel uncomfortable like they're walking on eggshells around you, but it's mostly out of respect for yourself. Also, journal about it. I love journaling. Anytime you can just sit down. Sometimes it's really, really difficult to put your feelings into words, but if you can just sit down with a piece of paper, a completely inanimate object, non-judgmental, completely objective, just piece of paper and a pen, and just spew your crap down on the paper, whatever it is you're feeling. All your anger, all your sadness, all your frustration, just put it out there. No one needs to see it. You don't even need to read it when it's done. You can throw it away when you're all done. But get it out of your body. And sometimes you'll actually find insights that you didn't even know were there. You might just get to writing and spewing your thoughts down on the paper and blurt something out onto the page, and you go, whoa, that's what's going on? And you wouldn't have known that if you hadn't sat down to write. So journal. Get yourself a piece of paper and write that shit down. Get extra rest if you can. I know it's not always easy. It's not always easy for me. I have a toddler and I have projects and things that I'm trying to work on. But getting extra rest wherever you can is important, because feelings are exhausting. It's exhausting to feel so much all the time. You gotta let yourself have a break once in a while. Even if I just go to put Rowan down for a nap and let myself doze off for a little while she's napping, it can make a world of difference. Our emotions are even more heightened when we're tired. So one of the best things we can do is to give ourselves that extra rest, that extra time to just replenish our energy. And it also helps to keep our minds a little more clear, so we can actually understand what we're feeling. Next, talk to someone. You don't have to. I don't always like to talk about my feelings because I don't always have good words. I don't have good words. I'm not always good at communicating what I'm feeling into words that make sense for other people. And oftentimes when I am feeling a lot, it's coming from a lot of different places. So it's really hard to translate to someone else. But if you can, and if that's something that you have the option of, it's a great idea. If you have a friend who is willing to just sit and hold space for you, to just talk it out, to talk your feelings out, that's a wonderful way just to honor how you're feeling and to speak it out. Nothing needs to be done about it. Your friend is just holding space for you. Don't put any expectations on them to make you feel better or cheer you up. Just the act of speaking out how you're feeling can help alleviate some of the weight and give a voice to your emotions. Lastly, and my favorite way to honor my feelings, schedule yourself a cry date. Yes, I'm talking crying on purpose. I do this all the time, especially when it's, pre-lady time, that special time in a woman's life, when your emotions are just all over the place. I will actually schedule out time to cry. And I'll do that in different ways. Maybe I will pick a night when Adrian's working. It's usually a good time to do it when you can be alone. So when Adrian has to go to work in the evening and after Rowan's gone to bed, I'll pick a movie. I'll pick a movie that I know is going to make me cry. Now, I don't typically like to go for something that's just gonna gut me. Like, I'm not gonna go watch Schindler's List unless I really want to go there. But something a little more like Moulin Rouge, tragic but also fabulous. Something that's going to trigger those tears to come out, because sometimes when we are feeling these heavy emotions, we don't always have the space to release them. I can't go throughout my day trying to hang out with my little girl and just bust out into tears in the middle of doing Legos. It's not a good time. So we do have to, especially as moms, we do have to sometimes compartmentalize our feelings and our emotions and wait for an appropriate time to let them out. And rather than get frustrated and angry because you're so busy and you don't have time to feel, make a cry date with yourself. Just you, a little Romeo and Juliet, some snacks, some tissues, and let it out. And if that's not your thing, maybe music. Music is also really good. One of my personal go-to cry trigger songs is Dumbledore's Farewell from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I actually found a YouTube video that plays it on like a 10-minute loop, because I tell you, that song's not long enough. It gets me going and then it's over, and then I need more cry fuel. So yeah, if you can find it, maybe I'll link it down below if you want to use it, if you're a Harry Potter fan and that just the thought of that triggers lots of feelings in you. But yes, make a cry date for yourself. Plan it, schedule it, commit to it. But those are some quick tips for honoring your feelings. I do want to say a couple things that you don't want to do. Don't try to cheer yourself up. Don't. That is completely masking over your truth, and that is dangerous and unhealthy, and it's ignoring a potentially real issue. Also, don't project. If you're feeling a certain way, if you're having a lot of internal goings on, don't infect the people around you. And this is where the communication part comes in. This is where just being honest about how you're feeling becomes so valuable. Because if you're honest and you just say, I'm having a bad day, I'm feeling really sad today, then you don't end up just walking around spewing out your negativity all over everybody, because they don't deserve it. They don't need it, and it only makes everybody feel worse. So don't project. Be honest about your feelings, but don't project. Your emotions are your emotions. Be responsible for them. But that, if I'm forgetting something, I'm forgetting something. If I remember something after I make this video, I'll put it in the comments below. But I just wanted to get this out, to get this off my chest, get it out there. Hopefully it can help people. We are dealing with so much right now. We're dealing with so much right now internally and in the world. And even though it feels selfish, taking time to heal your own heart and heal your own spirit does affect the world around you. Because I believe, and if you also believe, that we are all one, that we are all connected, that what we do to one affects the whole, then you can also understand that when you heal yourself, when you tend to your own needs, when you are kind and loving and compassionate to yourself, that you are also being kind and loving and compassionate to the world. It also helps you stay strong so that you can shine your light out into the world. Take breaks. This is a lot to deal with, and we are in the middle of some huge changes globally, universally. We are shifting into a new way of being, one that is more loving, one that is filled with more empathy. If we choose it, and we have to choose it, and that has to start inside. That's it. I'm very curious. How do you deal with emotion? Do you have any tried and true techniques? Have you ever had a cry date before? What are your cry movies? What are your favorite go-to movies to just get the tears a-flowing? I want to know, especially if it's something I haven't seen. Maybe you can make a suggestion for me. I usually have the same movies that I go to over and over again. Pan's Labyrinth. But yes, let me know. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I also want to let you know that I just started a Facebook community group. It is the same name. It is called Pearls and Ivy Community Group on Facebook. You can do a search for it. I will also link it down below. But there, I just wanted to create a space for people to come together, to dream, to learn, to grow, and to talk about all things personal growth and finding your authentic self. So if you want to join in the conversation, please join me there. I will link it down below. Take care of each other. I love you. Share this with a friend if you think they might benefit from the words that are coming out of my mouth. If you like the way I say things, please subscribe. I would love to build a tribe. What's another word that rhymes with tribe? Scribe, tribe, bribe. And I don't take bribes, and I might take a bribe. I don't know, this is dumb. Okay, bye. Rascal, get out of here. Lay down or something. Cat wants to rub his nose on everything. He's got a nuzzle. He's got to nuzzle the whole world. See, he keeps hitting the camera. I'm almost done editing it. God, it's loud out here. Oh, I can't wait to be in the mountains someday. Someday, I'm going to live in the redwoods near Mendocino. Claiming it.